Last second.
Crazy match.
I may sound like a broken record, but you'll remember me after this one. You may not notice me yet, but I'm fucking strong and I'm here to make a statement.
It's a steep mountain to climb to become a master, especially when the task at hand puts a relentless demand on your body. There is nothing casual about this sport. It's all in, all effort, all focus. It takes a lot from you, but the reward is unmatched. Mastery of oneself, an acute understanding of your weaknesses with an explosive sense of your strengths. Being able to complete the climb to mastery requires the proper nutrition. This is why it's important to take in a potent blend of electrolytes that is in tune with your output and brings strength to your goals. This potent blend is only found in salt electrolytes. Salt targets your depleted electrolyte levels with a boost of hydration and health. It gives your body the baseline recovery it needs.
Ladies and gents, we're joined by a good friend of the Grappling Hour, perhaps the best writer in all of jiu-jitsu, and now he is joining us here at the PGF Season 7. Chris Wojcik. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Feel good?
You feel good?
Feel good.
Okay, what did the experience feel like going on auction draft?
I felt like a cow.
A cow, okay.
A cow.
Can you
'Cause
be
I-
more specific about why you
like-
felt like a cow?
Like when the cows and they're buying them in the auction and they're like, weighing the cow. And
Okay.
that
Have
was
you gone to many cow auctions?
We're going for
maybe pigs.
pigs.
Like I felt like a piece of meat.
You did, okay. That I understand.
I was like, I don't know what's happening. It was interesting,
Is there ever any nervousness to almost blurt something out? Because that would be my fear, is when people are bidding on me, I'd be like, whoa. Like, did you feel like you almost might blurt out a word or a sentence?
At first I was like, oh, that's not very much. And then at first I was like, oh, how about just like not too much? And then when it ended, I was like, no, it should have been more.
I mean, you did go for $3,000, which is one of the higher prices, right?
Yeah, I think that was pretty good. That was cool.
Okay. Well
That's
done.
third
Is that
highest.
third highest?
Nice.
See?
Who's there?
Hold on. You do have to pay to see that. Behind a paywall. Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely went for a good amount of price. So congratulations on that. Tim, do you have any questions to start us off, sir?
How did you how did you kind of modify your training coming into this season of the PGF? I know you've competed in lots of formats, but this is a first for you.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was just kind of getting healthy, because everybody that I've talked to has been like, oh, it's just grueling. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be healthy and like fit going into this, just like not injured, which was able to happen, which is good. So I'm not really banged up. And then the other thing was just kind of modifying, like, because we were training for ADCC for a long time. So my training was very like points oriented and like takedowns and stuff. And now I've been kind of reintegrating kind of different submissions that I wouldn't look for in ADCC. So like not just spamming leg locks, but like working like, upper body submissions, a lot of strangles, because strangles are big scoring in this rule set, but just kind of being more kind of submission focused. Whereas for ADCC, I was definitely more positionally focused.
I think you might be the first guy that's come in and said you focused on getting healthy as a strategy to approaching the season.
Well, I did ADCC and I was like fucked up the whole chaos.
Yeah, I had no choice.
So I was like, I don't want to do that again, especially like something like this. It's like ADCC was tough and I had 4 matches. This is 3 a day. So that's like for 4 days. So I was like, I want to get through it, and I want to like do well, but I also don't want to like have all my shit break.
Yeah.
You know, so funny you bring that up, Chris. Chris, one of the smarter people in jiu-jitsu, glasses to glasses. You made a seminar happen the day after this ends. So when you talk about being healthy, and then you're gonna fly out to Los Angeles and do a seminar, what's wrong with your brain?
Well, I feel like seminars are not the most, like seminars are like kind of the easiest part of this job. Like I just get to go and just teach people the things I do every day. I only have to show the best ones, you know?
Maybe it's because I know the group of people you're going to be teaching. So
Oh, they're all going to try to beat me up.
prepare. No.
That is the part that is, I don't know. I just feel like it's just like kind of, this is my job. So that's what I got to do.
All right. You're going to see me drinking over on the side, probably at the seminar. Super late, by the way. Not going to get there on time. And just going, you want to talk about this was being a smart idea now? And then we'll make peace then. But until then, slightly mad because there's a chance I miss it. It's free for me. I should be going to it.
You should. I don't know what the deal is. You've been ducking me.
Wait, hold on. You have literally shown up every single time to the place that I'm going to, and then conveniently not been around to train. Multiple times. San Diego, Chicago, Los Angeles. Multiple times, sir.
Okay. No. I disagree.
This is so not facts. You know what? I'm so mad at you. I'm not asking you any more questions for the time being. Kevin, you may have them.
What sort of favors and bribery will you accept to get me into Seraphin's $2 million whatever facility that you've shown off? Because everyone and their mom wants into that place. It's immaculate.
Well, I don't actually have to do any weird favors or anything. You could just show up. Anyone can show up to
Cheap.
Gym 1801 in Evanston, but not too affordable. But
Wow.
affordable for classy people.
Yeah, no.
You heard it here first. He doesn't want the brokies. Don't show up.
I probably shouldn't say that because they sponsor me, but
Nah, you're fine. You're fine. If anything, just be like, these morons are really behind all of these bad statements. Okay. So you talked about that. You've talked about getting there. You've talked about your prep. What are you looking forward to most this week?
I think I'm looking forward to just kind of like, I'm kind of like, this is maybe a little bit masochistic, but I'm looking forward to like day 3, day 4 when it's like starting to get hard, and I want to know what that kind of feels like because I've never done a 3-4 day tournament before, so it's like an experience that I've never had. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I might regret that later, but right now I'm like curious.
And on tape. Great. What I want to make sure though is that you prefaced it with kind of masochistic. Like it wasn't a full throttled like, oh, this is completely masochistic. You're like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit. It's like, yeah, it is. But you know, you're a competitor for a reason. As being one of the best writers in jiu-jitsu, will you be cataloging your experiences here? And how many posts can I expect to see from the Grappler's Diary while you're here?
So the Grappler's Diary, the big secret is that the posts are already done for this week. So they're just going to go out every day at 10 a.m. You know how they always go. I guess 8 a.m. for you all. But and then there's going to be a newsletter tomorrow. I already did that. And then we'll see how I feel. There should be a post on Friday too, but that's the one that's up in the air. So we'll see.
Okay, so that's the topical one. Okay, good to know. Man, we got really good behind the scenes stuff. He has AI writing it. Got it. Figured it out now. Chris, I have to tell you, man, you're always fun, a delight to be around. It's actually great to have you here at this because I feel like when we need someone who's smart to write about this experience, I feel like you're not only going to be able to do it, but who knows what you'll be doing this week. You could win it all. You could do really, really well. And I'd love to see you do well, sir. So congratulations to you for going for a great rate. And we look forward to seeing you on the mats this week, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Nice to meet you. Thank you. How many athletes are left?
What is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Raph Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Bullpen, a joint venture between Inside BJJ and the Grappling Hour. I hope you're having a great day. Guys, day 3 is in the air right now. We have a lot to get to, but before you see the big action taking place here on the mats right behind us, we got to set the table. You can't just get to dinner. You got to set the table first, and the first person to take a stab at fixing the napkins and putting the forks where they're supposed to be is one Tim Freeman. Tim, how are you feeling today, man?
I'm excited, fresh off an IV drip. I'm tired from not even really being out there, just being in the same room as this action. The referees meeting was a little heated today. Today is Wednesday. It's meat grinder day. It's make or break day. There's quite a bit of tension in the room. There's a lot of athletes that if they don't show out today, they're probably going to go home with a disappointment in their heart. Yeah, Raph, I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Today is definitely go big or go home, and somebody who always goes big is one handsome Kevin Sherrill. Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Raph. I'm really excited. If you follow wrestling, you've heard the term the blood round. The blood round is when it's win or go home. You become an All-American. If you win, you go home with nothing if you don't. For the PGF, that's day 3. Day 3 dictates usually who's going home with the money, who's getting into the playoffs and getting a shot at the 20K. This is the most exciting one. This is when people decide to be a warrior. This is when you see crazy matches and highlights.
Fascinating. You know, it's odd to just be here and just be normally hanging out like I would. Not like, oh, what is this? Is this Once Upon a Coconut? Oh my goodness. What a great gift from the gods here. Thank you so much for dropping the supplies to us, and thank you for the sponsorship to a great event. Kev, do you know where it got the name Blood Round from? Like, who named that?
I don't know, because wrestlers usually don't have a flair for drama, man. They are not quite theater kids. Somebody got creative, and it stuck, man. So I have to say, today's the day. Today is the day.
All right. Well, I think it is time to make some reveals, and I'm actually going to spring something on these guys today. Want to look and see their faces. We're actually...
He locks down.
And I mean, listen, he was able to secure the submission of the night on day 1. We're now going to go to the day 2 submission of the night. Now, they haven't announced these things. We get to announce it. And Kevin, will you do us the honors of walking us through night 2's submission of the night?
Gets an easy break. That's nice.
Well, congratulations to both Elijah and to one Brad. I mean, listen, those were incredible moments here. We weren't short on submissions, and I believe today we might start seeing some more. But let's not talk all the preview points out yet. Let's get straight to the board. Gentlemen, I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on a number of these different topics, but first we start with this. Let's give some updates on the fantasy, the teams, and in general. And I'm going to start with you, Tim. What do you have to update us on?
So I have some updates on rosters and athletes right now. The word I heard is Dory Allen is out. He may not even be in Las Vegas anymore at this point, so you will not see him. Also got an update that Sam Schwartzapfel is going to move into one of the alternate positions. I'm not sure if that's Dory's position. It might be, actually. So we should see Sam out there. He is a returning PGF vet. I have not heard any news about Adam Bradley. It's been very quiet. I haven't been able to get any feedback. So
He's out.
He's out.
He did post a update on
He'll be
his
here
social media
today to coach in corner, I believe, and help support his team, but he is out.
So Bradley's out, and Andre Porfirio is in. And I think last night when we were talking to Abraham, I don't think Abraham knew that he wasn't going to be on the starting lineup today. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There was also some news of a backroom scuffle, but I don't have any details on it. I heard a little audio, but I haven't seen any footage, and I can't really get any info on it. It's been pretty tight-lipped. Usually my sources blab their guts out, but not this time.
Kevin, we had some breaking news here, and I'm willing to go for that as the general news. What exactly was taking place during the rules meeting here today?
Well, they've had some rules clarifications. The referees were up till 3 a.m. Effectively rewriting the rules and clarifications based on a lot of positions that happened yesterday, namely body lock versus rubber guard. If you hear for the post show, we actually went in depth with that with Abraham Lamontagne, and we talked about how things should be interpreted. They went through about a 40-minute rules meeting, as long as rules meeting I've ever been a part of, to break down every position, standing, passing, rubber guard, closed guard, everything you could ask for to clarify exactly all the top hints, to clarify exactly what is. And frankly, a lot of the athletes got real chippy right there with the referees. And the referees got a little chippy with the athletes. You do like to see it. You do like to see guys invested. You like to see them passionate. You like to see them vocal.
I mean, they were very vocal. We don't need to name names, but do you have any favorite pulled quotes or things that were said or overheard during that rules meeting?
Oh, yeah. There was some bickering over the referee's position, and Heath with one Sam Schwartz, and Heath let him know. He said, "Hey, man, if you can't figure this out, you're going to end up in this position for sure." Sam clapped back at him with, "Well, I've wrestled 20 years," and Heath goes, "You know what? Have that penalty right now."
So when we say things got a little heated here, that's what's happening behind the scenes and literally breaking news for us, because we like to prepare our show a certain way. We like to, be pretty fully ready for you guys. And when that happened, we decided we need to make some adjustments here on the fly. So that is some information that we got for you guys. We're now going to turn our attention to just a very quick fantasy update just for our teams here. Coming in at 14 points. Anybody have a guess?
It's going to be Egg, right?
It is Egghead, still currently struggling at 4th place. Anybody have a guess at who has 20 points?
Tim.
That would be correct. Tim does have 20 points. Kevin, do you know these numbers?
Yes.
What are your numbers then?
Oh, I don't know the exact numbers. I just know who's
Jesus
number one.
Christ. I am a stats nerd, followed by I don't know numbers.
I can't be bothered.
I don't know the exact numbers, man. I got so much information and knowledge rattling around up here, it's hard to keep track.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looked like you basically broke my face.
Kevin has a beautiful mind.
Look at this. Look,
Yeah.
the fact that right now I'm stuck with that look on my face.
Why do you look like my dad?
That's the look of disgust, Kevin. Raph is literally locked up right now. It's called a disgust lock, and he's locked in it. And I don't know if we can get him out of it. We might actually have to smack him or push him off
If
the
done
chair.
properly, no can defend.
Yeah, Kevin learned that from the great Grandmaster Dillman. Pretty amazing technique you pulled right there, Kevin.
Tilt down if you would on
Yeah.
that. No. There we go. Okay.
And just hang tight with us. We're just
yeah,
working
don't
through
worry.
this.
We just
No,
saw
this
how
is
my
the
face.
best part of the show.
I had no
guys.
idea that you had the ability to freeze somebody, man.
It
This is
was
awesome.
impressive.
I contain multitudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Nope, I'm back and better than ever.
Whew.
Okay, so just take a guess as to how many points I have then.
36.
I think it's like 34, something like that.
Last I checked, I had 38. Kevin, you currently have 47.
Wow.
So you are doing very. Don't. If
Wow,
you don't
Kevin.
know the point total, you don't get to be smug about it.
Good job, Kevin.
Oh, I did the numbers yesterday and said, cool, firmly in first.
You know what? I'm going to give you a 7 rating for today. Right
Hey,
now, we're
hey.
starting at a 7.
I have to point this out. Kevin is the only person who claims to be a stats nerd who goes, I know stats very well. Hey, name your top 5 favorite stats. And goes, never mind.
I have
Sergeant
a favorite
Pepper.
stat. Don't throw that on me. I have a favorite
What is
stat.
your? Well, you know what? There's a whole segment to that a little bit later.
we can't get into
So
it.
we won't get into that yet. Why don't we go ahead and go to our next topic, which is secret. Now, here's the thing. Dean Lister's been calling out for a secret move here, and it's baffled a lot of people in audience, in attendance, everywhere else. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for you guys to make some pitches as to what you think the secret move he's calling out for. And I'll start with you, Kevin Sherrill.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I think we should all, if you're paying attention, if you've been watching the week, you should know what this is. Dean has brought the cat with him. The one that scratched him up, the one that did that to him, he's brought it. The secret move is permission to release it and unleash it. As we have discovered over a little bit of news over the night, it turns out if you decide you do not want to continue a match, that is 6 points. And I don't know anybody that wants to grapple with a cat. Also, there's nothing in the rule book that says a cat can't do jiu-jitsu. Throw them in there. We need new alternates.
No, you are close on that one. You're not wrong there. Tim, do you have any ideas on what the secret move is?
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Stop it.
But I will say that I left you hanging. Sorry, Kevin. Yeah, there we go. Listen, Dean is a cagey, wily veteran, and he's very actively involved, despite the fact that you might think he's not. He doesn't necessarily come in looking like a coach, right? He looks like he got in a fight with a laundry dryer or something. But outside of that, I think there may not be a secret. I think that's the secret. Because if you don't know what the secret is and you're the opponent, you're going to overreact to everything. You're going to think every setup, every entry, every engagement is based on some Dean Lister super secret technique, and that's going to get in your head. I really think that's the game that Dean Lister's playing.
Thank you. My only stab is, Dean is a master of knowing leg locks, one of the founding fathers of leg locks here in jiu-jitsu. You can't just ignore 50% of the body. So that's why I think his secret move is actually a figure 4 leg lock. Shades of the one Ric Flair. I think that's what it is, because every time I hear him call for it, I'm kind of like, they're kind of close to the leg region, so it might actually be that. And that would definitely be surprising. Effective? Hard to say. But we'll let the audience be the judge. And if you guys have any thoughts as to what that move might be, please tell us in the comment section. But I will say here, you sent me this note here a little bit earlier, Tim, and it was somebody in the comment section that said that Dean Lister looked like he got second place to a train.
Yeah.
So definitely without context, I think it's actually better that way. Why don't we advance to the next topic? Wow, that looks familiar. Verbal Tap. Not just the best audio show of all time in terms of jiu-jitsu and MMA, but also seemingly a topic of discussion here at the PGF. Yesterday, there was some confusion as to what was going on during the Elijah Carlton and Adam Bradley match. We've mentioned how the points have been adjusted now, but I'd like to get both of you to give both your interpretation and your thoughts on the fallout from that match and exactly what took place afterwards. I'm going to start with you, Tim Freeman.
Well, when you watch that match, this is one of the rare instances in jiu-jitsu where an athlete preemptively taps for his opponent. And you could see as Adam Bradley and Elijah Carlton got in that mix-up there, and Elijah was getting after the leg, and they were on the reset, Elijah immediately starts talking and pointing and declaring that that's it, his leg's gone, it's over. He makes the sign with his hand. And Adam Bradley's like, nah, dog, you didn't get me. You didn't get tap me. But listen, if we just hearken back to a few months ago, we've already tried this, and we already have case law. This is the Miragali law. If you get hurt as a result of your opponent's actions, that's a tap. And it actually hurt Adam Bradley, because if he would have it hurt his team. If he would have just said, yeah, I tapped to it, no biggie, it would have been 3 points. But because he didn't, and he tapped on the reset, an additional 3 points were tacked on later that evening. So I think it was a tap. I think Bradley did the wrong thing. I think probably in these situations, there's a lot of ego at play. Guys don't want to admit that they tapped somebody else, all that stuff. But, man, if you get injured because your opponent took a shot at you, then your opponent submitted you. And that's pretty much where I stand on that.
Thank you for that. Kevin, it's been interesting to see this kind of fallout happen, and it was very late in the game. They readjusted the points. It did make a difference in the team standings. What make you, as somebody who has been in this situation and known there's kind of sometimes a little bit of interpretation here?
Well, it's very clear that there was a submission, there was a tap. As far as getting 6 points for a heel hook after the fact, absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely not. It's a break. What are you talking about? What game are we playing where we pretend Adam Bradley magically, like, he broke his leg and that broke his spirit, and therefore it's 6 points for the kill because his spirit got broken? What is this game? We know why the leg broke. We saw Elijah with the bite. It's a simple leg lock. When did this become 6? This is insane. We're playing with funny money. We all are grapplers here.
if you're watching this and you're not a grappler, I love you. Fantastic. You're growing the sport. But for all of us that are grapplers here, we saw the entry. We saw the bite. We heard Elijah talking about it after the fact, saying, yeah, all I need is the toes. I had the bite. So I had the bite. Then I threw my hips through his knee. I heard the pop. Then he escaped. Realized after the pain set in, he checked the stability that he didn't want to continue. He didn't want to risk it further. A heel hook caused that. That's a joint lock. What are we doing?
Sounds like we'll hear some people in the chat, if not in the comment section a little bit later. So we welcome your gallery comments because it's more fuel for us. But nonetheless, yes, wait, they gave Elijah 6 for that. That is correct. To neck step BJJ. That is exactly what happened there. So just in case you were wondering, there was a little bit of debate. Maybe that's something you will see on PGF court a little bit later.
Yeah, because I disagree with Kevin on that, actually.
Dude, I want to, let's go back a couple seasons.
That's a concession.
I want retroactive points for all the times I smoked Elijah on Instagram. I broke his spirit. That's 6 points.
If you throw up, is that a choke? Or if you have to, you go, I think I'm
did
hurt. Let's all stop the
make
match.
You throw up? Are we going to pretend Adam Bradley magically broke his leg and it's unrelated?
Adam Bradley could have tapped, but he didn't tap. So he had to confess.
Bro, you are absolutely a con man. You got 6 points off of a joint lock.
He had to capitulate.
There we go. Thank you.
What world do we live in?
So hold on.
That's the first time in PGF history I've ever tried to change a call for myself or try to get more points for myself.
Cap.
That straight up. I mean, you can go back and look through. I've definitely argued other people's points a lot. Never my own point, though. That's the first time I've ever tried to go to the commission to get myself more points. But I mean, granted, all he did was take away my ability to try and kill him. We asked him if he was okay. He said, yeah. He started me in referee's position, and then he tapped. You think I wouldn't have got on his back and killed him? Because I would have,
I agree. If he had continued.
I'm pretty sure if you look up PGF history, my finish rate on the back is 100% if I get on your back. You could fact check me on that one, but I'm pretty sure every person I've ever got on their back inside the PGF got finished.
Elijah, I just want to say this. You definitely have the energy of a dad who's getting extra points for his team at times and yelling out, hey, ref, we're not looking here. And I enjoy it. And I have to tell you, my favorite moment is when I do see you and I go, he's out of line, but he's right. Because every once in a while that does happen. But I'll be like, I don't agree with the form, but I can see that. So it is entertaining. On this one in particular, I feel that there's going to be people talking about it for a little bit there.
Elijah needs to sell used cars, bro. This is insane.
Timeshares.
Yeah, timeshares for real. Got a bridge.
Well, Elijah, we're going to let you get back to prepping. Thank you for stopping in. You never know what's going to happen on the pre-show. We do have our voices that will carry. And
Pretty chummy with you, Kevin.
He is.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Wow. You guys, oh my God.
He gave you a little shoulder squeeze at the end and everything.
You know what it was? It was like a slight lover's quarrel that's like, hey, honey, come on.
Dear, we said we wouldn't talk about this in public.
The makeup after the breakup.
Not in front of the kids.
All right. Well, let's get to our next topic because I didn't expect that to kind of take some of the time here. It says, have there been any unexpected swerves this week? Now, listen, there's a lot of stuff that you could expect, but every once in a while, there's something that happens that maybe you didn't see coming. It's a pro wrestling term, and one, Kevin Sherrill has just learned it this week. Tim, I come to you first, though. Is there any swerves that maybe you didn't see this week coming?
Yeah, there really is, and I'm going to pick this big, juicy piece of low-hanging fruit. We saw it play out like 60 seconds ago. Elijah Carlton has, leading up to this, he was telling me, hey, man, I'm not feeling that great, not training too much. I don't expect to put very many points on the board. I just want to get on a team that's going to win. I checked the standings today. Elijah's in second place. Yeah. He's 1 point behind the leader, Ryan Aiken. He's a cagey dude, man, and I think he swerved all of us. I think he set the expectation low. He understands the PGF. He knows how to win in this format, and he's come out and he's done it. And on top of that, he's made new friends. He's rekindled old relationships. He's also pissed some new people off. He's got some new enemies. That's what we expect from Elijah Carlton. He came out, acted like it was going to be one thing, took a left, and then took a right. Nice swerve, Elijah.
All right, I'm going to come to you, Kevin. Were there any swerves that you didn't see coming this week?
Yeah, yesterday there was a match that did not play out at all like I expected, and I'm going to go pretty hard at you. I'm sorry, Nathan. I love you, bud. But Nathan Haddad's match with Paul Ardea surprised me. Nathan went all last season without being tapped. Not only not being tapped, he went at everyone like that man was rabid. When I talked to Paul, Paul's a training partner. I'm absolutely biased, just so you guys know. There's no illusions about that. Paul and I trained together back in Atlanta. And I told Paul, I said, hey, man, you've been having a problem with people running, people disengaging, and people not necessarily wanting to get their leg broken for some reason. But this guy, Nathan, he's going to go right at you, dude. You're going to have a match. You're going to absolutely go the way you want. And then Nathan spent a good bit of that disengaging, not attempting to pass, and framing away. That really, really surprised me. About 40 seconds into that match from the corner, I yelled to Paul. I was like, all right, I was wrong. You're going to have to go after him, bro. So Nathan came up to me after we actually talked about it. He told me he was channeling me. And it's just, I didn't see that coming. But I'm happy to hear that I'm still pioneering in the PGF.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's get the camera off you now. We'll go to our next topic, which is all about recovery. Today, our athletes were actually treated to some much, much needed therapy and recovery. So we want to go ahead and very quickly talk about that. So I'd like to take 30 seconds for each of you to kind of describe what you were seeing happening to our athletes. I'll start with you, Kevin Sherrill.
Well, I'm going to give you guys some advice based on what I did today. Today I went to the UFC PI with Torres Finney and Reese Watkins, Carl Williams, and they just walked me through there and made sure that I could get my body right for the demands of this week from me. We did a little bit of rehab with resistance bands, sitting up. We did a few reps of tying the tie. I had to get a little bit of like ice and mobility training right here for these thumbs, all the tapping I've been doing out there on the social medias. So it's important, guys. You have to take this seriously. We are athletes, especially me.
All right, so we are going to clip the part where he says he's tapping a lot because that will come back to be used. Tim, do you have any updates for us on the recovery elements?
Well, I do know that the athletes were treated to a pretty extensive recovery session with New Hope Regeneration, one of the key sponsors of the PGF. And they also just made an offer out here today, said they're going to be taping guys up. Kevin, you might be interested in hitting that up. As well as, helping with whatever other kinds of things maybe medically they're experiencing right now. On top of that, I myself got an IV drip this morning. I feel like $1 million. If I don't take care of myself, then I can't take care of you guys, and I can't look after Kevin Sherrill. So I put myself number one. I appreciate that Kevin did that as well.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'm here for you guys. So, recovery's a huge deal. Wednesday's the meat grinder. These guys got to take care of their bodies. Eating Chinese food like Max Hansen is not going to cut it.
Thank you for the updates. Guys, I would love for you very quickly to tell me about your favorite stats as we move to the next part of our board. Listen, there's a lot of stats that go out there. Kevin reads them all, doesn't retain any of them. But I'd like to know very quickly in 30 seconds if you have any stats that have jumped out to you that maybe the audience hasn't picked up on. I come to you first, Tim Freeman.
Well, the first stat is how many salt electrolyte packets I can down in a day versus how many I actually spill on top of myself. And I'm doing better today. I got 2 down today with no incidences. I hope I can make it through the day. The other stat is my personal favorite. We have one couchable that took place last night. We had a couple near couches. Guys got pinned up against the couch. They didn't sit on it.
When you say near couches,
it's a near couch fall. It's a near couch fall.
We are getting too clogged in that term.
So you don't want me to say warning track shots either? Because there were some warning track shots too.
What does that mean?
It means like they hit the cement and then their hips were on the cement, not on the couch. It's like you almost got it.
Do you want me to show you the way that our referees have tried to implement their bodies into it? Can I get a full frame shot, please? If you guys have missed this live, the referees, when they see something going off the mats, have literally done the Ralph Wiggum, like legitimately diving themselves in head outside to block the action from going.
Right here.
These people are giving up their bodies.
Okay? I kind of don't like it because they're messing with my numbers. I want to see these two get couch locked.
All right, let's go to you, Kev. Do you have any unforeseen or unknown stats at the moment?
Yeah, I want to call y'all's attention to New Hope Regeneration and how they pulled ahead. In Block 2 yesterday, they scored 16 points. Those 16 points were scored by Brad Schneider with a break, Ernesto with a kill, and Travis with a kill. Those 16 points are more than any single team scored the entire first day. That's how they got this lead in one single block. So while you guys are tuning in and you're looking at those team scores, don't start thinking it's over. You can go a solid 20 minutes, and all of a sudden, things have changed rapidly.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And what's this? Oh, is this a Once Upon a Coconut? Thank you again for coming to sponsor this. I guess the reason I bring it up is it just made its way into the chat where Moose Fritz says, I'm so jealous they get free chocolate coconut water all week. And to that, I just say, yeah, it's great. It's very delicious. Sorry. I drink it on air, but we got to keep moving. Let's go to our final little post here, which is who has had some of the easiest or the hardest roads? Gentlemen, I need you to table this in just under 30 seconds. I'm going to start with you, Kevin Sherrill. Who has had the easiest and the hardest road? And very quickly explain the context.
I'll tell you who's going to have the tough road. Today, Kamoy Anderson comes back from injury, and his matches today are Paul Ardea, Ryan Aiken, and Andre Porfirio. That's a tough schedule for anybody, especially somebody who's coming back off of injury and having to struggle with it. However, who has an easy road? Jacob Howland. He's having a great time. He's doing phenomenal. He has not been tapped yet. He also hasn't been on the mat yet. His New Hope Regeneration is entirely healthy. The only team without a sub in. But you know what? That's not his fault. He's doing everything in his power, and he's been doing phenomenal. Great performance, Jacob.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Tim, what are yours?
I'll look forward to today. Listen, Brad Schneider has the chance to put up some serious points on the board. He's fighting a replacement. He's fighting Sebastian Attard, and he's fighting Caleb Crump. It doesn't mean those are going to be easy matches, but he does have a chance to put some points on the board, as well as Ryan Aiken. He's fighting an alternate today. He's fighting Kamoy Anderson and Cam Hurd. And there's quite a big size differential between most of those matchups. Hard road, Elijah Carlton's got to fight Marcin. He's got to fight Kyle Chambers and Ernesto Rivera, who's really showed himself to be a force this season. Cam Hurd's got to fight Paul Ardea, Marcin, and Davis Asari. Not an easy route for those guys today.
Thank you so much. And you know what's great that's happening in the chat? T-Boned says, Rafa is so cringe, which, okay. And then 2 seconds later, Nunchuck Alex says, T-Boned, I will fight you. And everybody in the chat is like, yo, Rafa's
Careful,
pretty
T-Bone.
great.
He has nunchucks.
I'm just saying, bro. And Moose, we love you. But I do see Adam Bradley is in the chat, and I do believe he is making his case and kind of further explaining to you guys. I'll say this is not an easy competition, and I do feel like you find some of the best athletes get really challenged in this. So it is easier said than done, people in the comments. Please remember that when we come back tomorrow for more gallery comments. But ladies and gents, that's pretty much going to do it for our show here right now. So here's what's happening. You're going to see 30 matches of action coming your way in just a few seconds. When that happens, ingest that, love that, appreciate that, and then come back to see us after that is done. We will be here for your post show, and we will have another installment of Bullpen Court, what I have been told is a favorite here, especially from our commissioner who said some wonderful, nice things. And I have to say, these are very weird because I feel like my stuff has been modified and moved around. So I'm going to see if I can get to the bottom of this. I can't tell if anybody used my equipment, but I will be definitely asking around a little bit later. Anyway, on behalf of Tim Freeman, Kevin Sherrill, myself, Rafa Esparza, thank you so much for watching. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.